Hello and welcome to the review of the Spirit Animal Oracle deck by Colette Baron Reid. We're going to first do a walkthrough so you can get a visual of each of the cards in the deck, and then we'll move on to the review portion of the video. So we're going to get started with card number 1, Ant Spirit, Antelope Spirit, Armadillo Spirit, Badger Spirit, Bat Spirit, Beaver Spirit, Bee Spirit, Bobcat Spirit, Brown Bear Spirit, Buffalo Spirit, Butterfly Spirit, Canary Spirit, Cat Spirit, Chameleon Spirit, Cow Spirit, Coyote Spirit, Crow Spirit, Deer Spirit, Dog Spirit, Dolphin Spirit, Dove Spirit, Dragonfly Spirit, Eagle Spirit, Electric Eel Spirit, Elephant Spirit, Flamingo Spirit, Fox Spirit, Frog Spirit, Giraffe Spirit, Grasshopper Spirit, Groundhog Spirit, Hawk Spirit, Horse Spirit, Hummingbird Spirit, Koala Spirit, Koi Fish Spirit, Lion Spirit, Lizard Spirit, Moth Spirit, Mouse Spirit, Nightingale Spirit, Otter Spirit, Owl Spirit, Panther Spirit, Parrot Spirit, Peacock Spirit, Pig Spirit, Porcupine Spirit, Rabbit Spirit, Rhino Spirit, Sandpiper Spirit, Scarab Beetle Spirit, Seahorse Spirit, Skunk Spirit, Snake Spirit, Spider Spirit, Squirrel Spirit, Stag Spirit, Starfish Spirit, Swan Spirit, Turkey Spirit, Turtle Spirit, Vulture Spirit, Wasp Spirit, Whale Spirit, White Raven Spirit, Wolf Spirit, and Wombat Spirit. So there you go. Those are all 68 cards in the deck. So now that you've got a visual of what each of the cards look like, we're going to move on to the review. Okay, time to talk about this deck. So here we are. The Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron-Reid. Like, she's put out so many decks and she's really good at what she does. So let's take a look at what's inside, okay? So we have a nice hard shell box, which I love, and the closure is magnetic, so that's kind of cool too. So inside we have the book and the cards. So as I had mentioned, we have a hard shell box, but what I love about this, I'm just going to grab one of the cards quickly. We won't go through the walkthrough of what I think of the cards yet, but I love when the cards and the book and the box are all the same size. That is like a huge plus for me, so good job on that. So there you go. Packaging done. Now let's talk about the cards, okay? So when we look at, we got Turkey Spirit. Okay, so here is one of the cards. When you look at it compared to, excuse me, the Rider Waite, because that's my benchmark, from a sizing perspective, it's a tiny bit taller and quite a bit wider. This happens to be kind of the standard size for Oracle decks, in my opinion. That's sort of what most of them conform to. So they are normally a little bit bigger than the Rider Waite, but it gives you a visual, right, of what that looks like. Then when we look at how thick or thin the card is fairly thin, which kind of contradicts the feel of the card. It feels like a very thick card, and I think part of that is because the card stock itself, it's very, what's the word I'm looking for? Matte, okay? So even though like now I can feel it's got a bit of a slippery feel to it, it did not when I first bought the deck. So I have used this quite a bit, so disclaimer there. When you initially get it, I find that the cards are very, they're very clumpy, okay? So I talk about slip, slide, and separation in my reviews, okay? So that just means when I am shuffling cards, right, overhand like just this, just regular shuffle, how well do the cards slide against each other? How well do they slip around? And do they separate when you're shuffling, or do they actually shuffle in big clumps? Now, we're at the point where I've worked this deck in enough that it does shuffle fine. It's not super slippery, even after being worked in for quite a while. When I first got it, it was very clumpy. I had, no kidding, I was like bending the cards, like super bending them, and they would just go back into shape kind of thing, just to try and get them so they wouldn't stick together. So that's something to be mindful of. And I should really say that in all of my reviews. Sometimes it takes a while for you to work them in, but for me, if I buy a deck of cards and I want to start using them right off the bat, right, I'm going to start using them. I want them to be user friendly. I don't want to have to work them in, right? This is not a new pair of shoes. It's not like you can't pick a different card stock that works well, right? So from that perspective, it's like the card stock, once you work it in, it's okay. It's still not my favorite, but it is definitely workable, okay? So just something to be aware of. If it's something that doesn't bother you, then I think, that's a good thing, because it bothers me. But I was going to jump ahead into my thoughts, so let's not do that. Let's just talk a little bit more about the cards themselves. So I will say this, if you've watched any of my reviews, it's all about the cards. And with me, it's the artwork. And look, elephant spirit, starfish. Let's find some other ones. No, not you. Oh, seahorse. Look, the artwork is lovely, right? Dove. Pretty artwork. Typical of Colette Baron-Reid. She really does incorporate lovely artwork into her decks. I will give her that. I don't know that there are any decks, dolphin here. Even the turkey's kind of cute. Turkeys aren't pretty, right? All right, look at this one, butterfly spirit. Lovely. Like, the artwork is so nice. It's very pretty. It's colorful. Some parts, it's sort of a combination of vibrant and muted. Like the backgrounds are kind of muted, but then like in this one, the butterfly is a little more vibrant, right? So it stands out. So I like that. I really do like the artwork in this deck. And I think a lot of people too. It's a very popular deck. The other thing that I really like about these cards is that she's got the name of the animal. So we have butterfly spirit, and then it says transformation is beautiful. So she's got a tagline here, which speaks to the archetype of the butterfly. So she's explaining, yeah, we know it's a butterfly, but she also says this is what the butterfly archetype represents, right? So if you're reading, like especially if you're a professional reader, you want to be doing stuff fairly quickly, it's a really great visual for you to go, oh, okay, yeah, so it's about transformation, and on you go, right? If that doesn't matter to you, then that's fine too. But I really like this. So for beginners, it's a great deck to start with from that perspective, right? The other thing I will say is you can't see so well on this one. This one's a little better. On Turkey Spirit, you can see at the top, she's numbered the cards as well. From what I can tell in no particular order, I haven't gone through the book in great detail. So we'll talk about the book in a minute too. But if you're into numerology, that's a nice thing to have as well when the cards are numbered. So to pull that into your readings if that's your thing, right? So, yeah, the way the cards are laid out, great, good job, and artwork, lovely. So now we're going to move on to the book. So here's the book that came with it, very thick. What is it? 68 cards in the deck, I think. And it's, you know, a pretty typical, decent quality book where she's got a photo and description. It's nothing to write home about, but it is, you know, a good practical standard book. It's not like the tiny black and white leaflets that a lot of decks get with them. So if you are into the books, you'll probably enjoy it. It's a decent book. If you've seen my reviews before, I don't care about the books so much, but it is a nice touch when they do have a decent book in them. So now we're going to, you know what, let's go with the butterfly spirit. Here, this card. I'm going to read you just one of the cards out of the book. What are you? Number 11. Good number. Yeah, we're going to read from the book just to see what the interpretation, let me back up. To hear what the creator's interpretation of the butterfly spirit archetype is, right? So you'll get a flavor for what the book is about. So butterfly spirit, like I said, the tagline is transformation is beautiful. And it says the oracle message is joy in the beautiful lightness of being alive and creative in the world is focused when butterfly spirit flutters before you. Transformation is inevitable as you grow into your most beautiful, empowered self. Indeed, you will go through some uncomfortable stages as you let go of the forms of your life that no longer fit the new you. Even relationships must go through shifts to match your new emerging self. If you focus on the beauty and not the challenges, stop taking yourself too seriously, and choose to be playful, loving, and joyous, you will soon know the miracle your soul wants to experience through you. Today is a day for joy, so alight. Look around and see the beauty that is everywhere and in everyone, including you. Lovely. Then we have protection message. So I guess that's your upright and reversal if you do those, right? Transformation does not have to be as traumatic or dramatic as things may seem to be right now. Remember, change is the only true constant. When you resist it, you create a tension within you as you refuse to accept the inevitable. In this moment, you may have forgotten the beauty and joy of life as it moves through its seasons, as nature dictates. You are being faced with a choice now. You can struggle with the current conditions, refusing to surrender and see through the lens of lack and loss, or you can surrender to the grace that is calling you to allow life to take its course, moving through the sadness and disappointment. Surrender will soften you, inviting you to bask in gratitude and see through the lens of curiosity. These are the keys to tuning into the infinite potential available to you now. Butterfly spirit knows the beauty and delight you are on. No, let me go back. Butterfly spirit knows the beauty and delight you are on the brink of discovering. Sorry about that. Let go and trust that oh my God, I can't read. Let go and trust that it is there for you. Okay, there we go. Sorry, that was a little choppy, but It's early in the morning, so there you go. Anyway, that's how each of the messages are portrayed for each of the cards. So you've got your upright and reverse meaning. So, you know, if you're into that, there you go. But a nice description, right, of the cards. Not too lengthy, not too wordy. A bit of run-on sentences. I know that they're like commas and semicolons and stuff, but when you read it, it's like, oh man, pause and take a breath. But overall, the descriptions are great. I think it all works well together. It's very cohesive, right? So having said all of that, let's talk about my final thoughts. So the Spirit Animal Oracle, there's a reason why this deck is so popular. It is a lovely deck. It's well put together. It's well thought out, well curated. I think that the way Colette Baron-Reid has interpreted these archetypes seems quite good. Like I use this deck quite a bit in my readings, and I find that if I'm, let's say I'm coming across an animal that I don't know well, right? Or I haven't come across the card very much. As you use the deck, you kind of start to read into the archetypes a little more, and they sort of settle in with you, which is kind of a cool thing. So when I see similar animals in other decks, it's interesting to see how they correlate and how close they are, each creator, to interpreting those archetypes. So it's kind of cool. Anyway, it is a lovely deck. Again, the artwork, just how everything is put together. The book is fine. The storage, the box for storage, I'll go back to that because I forgot to say that. Because when packaging is big, it takes up a lot of room, which can be a pain, especially if you have a lot of decks, like if you're a pro or a collector, right? So overall, well put together. What am I going to give this? I'm going to give this deck a... Oh, I'm so torn. I'm really torn. I'm feeling like I want to give it a 9, but I really want to give it a 10 because it is such a good deck. It's the card stock that's really tripping me up. Let's give it a 9.5. Like, I'll give you an example. Here's why I'm saying this. I don't like big cards, okay? So look at this deck. Look at this. This is Zodiac Moon. So the cards are even bigger than these. And normally I would take away points for that, but I love this deck so much, and I love the card stock. How easy this is to shuffle right out the gate, even though the cards are big. So that deck, spoiler alert, got a 10 out of 10. And you can watch the walkthrough if you go to the playlist, right, for Oracle cards. But with this one, I really had to work in the cards. I really had to work them in, and that's kind of a pain. So you know what? The deck is so good, though. Let's give it a 9.5. Let's give it a 9.5 out of 10. Good job, Colette. Loving it. All right, so there you go. Now, tell me, do you own this deck? And if you do, what do you think of it? What are your thoughts on it? And if you don't own it, have you been thinking about getting it? And has this review helped? Or have you enjoyed the review overall? Give it a thumbs up, give it a like, right? I'd love to see that and your thoughts on the review itself. So good luck with everything. Oh, and if you're interested in purchasing, I keep forgetting to say this, I have Amazon links. So disclaimer, if you buy anything out of like using my Amazon links, I could earn commission, but great way to support me in what I do. But yeah, if you're interested in checking those out on Amazon, I have Canada and US, and you could own this lovely deck too. So there we go. We're going to leave it there. So thank you for watching, and until we meet again, I'm wishing you much love and light, health and wellness, peace and prosperity. Take care. Bye.